Hello and welcome to my community on Afrocentric TV channel 15.8. This is the station that revolves around the Africans in diaspora, especially with us here in Houston. My name is Kolawale Akinmoyewa. I am your host today, and I will always be your host, I hope. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about a real life scenario, and uh, I have something very important and dear to our guest today, and I believe when and after you listen to him, you can resonate with it and put words and action into perspective as to what you need to do to grow. Today we're going to be talking to Mr. Adebayo Adebowale. He is the broker, one of the brokers, of course, in EXP real estate company. So let me start by welcoming Mr. Adebayo Adebowale. Mr. Adebayo Adebowale has always been an entrepreneur. Let me put it that way. But he had worked as a licensed psychiatrist nurse practitioner here in the state of Texas. You can imagine that. And he's also been an auto dealer, and he was a real estate agent before becoming a real estate broker and developer. You can imagine that. So he has quite a journey. So when I say this book is loaded that we're going to be talking about today, given that the fact is now wearing the title of an author. Welcome to the show, Mr. Adebowale.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Sir, we will still talk about the book, but before the book, give us a synopsis about your life so far, your journey, and I said so many things about your the different phases in your life prior to now. You're a real estate broker and developer, of course, and also an author. That's it takes a lot of work, and so just tell us a little about your journey so far to becoming what you are today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Kola. It's a great pleasure. It's an honor to be here and to share my story. And hopefully, it's going to inspire people out there. So my journey started from Nigeria, of course. Born into a family of nine, great family. My dad and my mom. My dad was a Muslim, married to one wife. But all of a sudden, in 2006, my father passed away. My father died.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And that was it was very tough. It was very difficult because we had a very good relationship. So, and once that happened, I got lost in life. There was money because it was wealthy, but money wasn't everything. There was something in my heart, in my soul, that was missing. So it was very tough. So I went through trying times, here and there, bad friends and people backstabbing me and things like that, and getting into the wrong set. So, but as God will have it, God never leaves His own people.
That's right.
God never leaves His own people. There has been a yearning, there has been a calling from God. So, around 2011, I went on a visit to London to see one of my friends, and this guy was a bad boy. He was a he was worse than me. He was worse than me. He was a bad boy. So he had given his life to Christ. Then witnessing to me, telling me, "Oh, pray for the grace." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He had given his life to Christ. He said, "Pray for the grace of God." So I prayed for that grace because I didn't know what else to do. That grace is what I'm living under till today, right now. So when I trace my journey from Nigeria to the US, having a car dealership here in Houston, becoming a registered nurse, now I became a psychiatric nurse practitioner, and I ventured into real estate investing, and now became a realtor, now became all these things we have become in real estate. I trace it back to that grace of God that I prayed for. And that's the story of my life in a nutshell, and I know we'll get deeper into it so that your viewers can understand how whatever dream and goals you have for your life and your future, God is working in it with you. If your time has not yet come, it will not tarry. Your time is coming. So it's a story of grace, and I wanted to share it with your viewers today.
Thank you so much. That's very, very insightful. About the book that we'll talk about, we're still going to talk about your real estate journey, by the way, but we let's talk about the book that we're here for today. Lessons from my dad. Why that title?
Powerful, man. Very emotional title, Lessons from My Dad, because I reflected on so what happened was this. Since I was young, I started getting involved in reading self-help and self-development books. People like Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, Les Brown, Sam Adeyemi in Nigeria.
Right, I know Sam.
I started reading books because I know that reading books is like getting into the mind of the author. Whatever principle, whatever the author has been through, and you want to achieve the level of success or excellence that they have in that area, you can tap into a book and read their mind and apply those principles. So I've been interested. So I started reading books. Then all of a sudden, I started writing it down in my notepad. You know how we do New Year resolution?
Right.
I would like to become an author. New Year resolution.
Interesting.
And that's what I tell people. Whatever dream you have, whatever goal, whatever you are thinking, don't use your brain to think about it. Write it down. When you write something down, there's something that happens. It takes off a life of its own. It's like a breathing piece.
I hope someone can hear me, because there's someone within our circle right now that I always tell that to. I always tell them, there's a notepad. To an extent, I have to buy a notepad myself. I say, write things down, write it down.
Yes.
So, a very smart person,
yes.
I'm not going to mention names, of course, very smart person, but then you forget that you're a human. At any point in time, there may be that,
yes, that distraction.
And then you forget whatever it is, your line of thought might just fade. So if you had written it down, you can always reference back to
Absolutely, it. Sir. Absolutely. So, and thank you for sharing that, because it's very powerful once you write things down. So I started writing down. I would like to be an author. And once my father passed away, and God saved me, I became a born again Christian and everything.
Amen.
I started talking a lot about my dad. You know, I got married, my wife. Every time we joke, my father said this, my father said that. Alaji said don't do it. Alaji said, I was born as a Muslim. Alaji said don't do it. So my wife was always like, you're always talking about your dad. So when the opportunity came for me to actually write a book, I know success principles, because success principles are what I have applied to my life that has got me here. And my wife was like, you're looking for a title of your book. Why don't you name it after your dad? And for me, I just transcended back to when he died. And so I started thinking, so the life that I live now, it was the principle that I got from my dad that got me here. I said, that's good. Let's start thinking of title. So we started writing title, letter from my father, letter from these, letter from dad. Then we finally settled. Lessons from my dad.
Lessons
6
from
principles for building a successful life. And this is my story that has got me here so far. These are some of these principles that I have applied to my life that's got me here. So I would love to share them with you.
I would love to hear them too. But before we get to that part, there's something. While I was talking to you, I picked some things. I'm not the smartest guy, but I try to understand people's journey so I can apply it either to my life or at least make it a lesson, because you don't have to fail to learn, right? And this has to do with when I said I was going to come back to you as a real estate broker or agent, right? So now, there were things you were doing prior to becoming a real estate agent or even becoming a broker, right? You were a car dealer, you were a nurse practitioner, and not just a regular psychiatrist. I know what it takes. Those are like in demand right now. But then you chose to leave that journey, the healthcare sector, the automobile sector, into and venture into real estate. To an extent, now you have become you're not just an agent, but you're a broker yourself, and you own a brokerage firm. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And also, you became a developer. Now you have your own structure. You build, right? So my question is, how were you able to transition from that journey of being a nurse practitioner to becoming a real? There must have been a change in paradigm, right? You must have thought to yourself that, am I fulfilled in this field that I'm in? Am I doing what I really love to do? Because that's a huge change, because there's no telling what if you're going to be making money in real estate or not. The market is up and down. But in nurse practitioning, being a nurse practitioner, you can, there's a standard salary. I mean, your money is guaranteed, and it's not just low money. You make good money, because I know nurse practitioners, especially when you're in the psych. So now, what changed from you being that practitioner in the healthcare sector to real estate?
Wow, thank you very much. That's loaded, man. That's loaded. And I'll tell you, sir.
Well, people need to understand the journey.
Yeah, absolutely. So once I got to America, one of my friends said, you have to make. I'm like, man, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm trying to do things. I already graduated in Nigeria. So my friend said, hey, get into car sales. You can buy cars from the auction. You can fix them. You sell them. So we bought the first one, second one. This thing is good, man. Like, people are buying, actually.
We do.
I started buying cars, fixing, selling. So I started getting popularity because I have excellent customer service. People say that. Thank you to all my clients. So I started treating clients like family, and the business started growing. But right around the same time was when I was in school. And how did I get into school was my brother came to me, my older brother, shout out to him, Dr. Yemi. He said, Bayo, I heard you are a business person from Nigeria, but in America, you got to go to school. You got to go to school. You got to go back to scratch. Find a course that you're going to do, and you have to do. I already graduated school from Nigeria now. I don't just want to do MBA and move. He said, no. I want you to be grounded in America. I want you to be rooted in the system. It was one of the best advices anybody could have given me. So, man, I thought about it. What do I want to do? Man, I said, let's go for engineering. So, I went to Houston.
I was assuming your background in Nigeria was engineering.
It wasn't even engineering. You know what I liked? Engineer bio. I wanted to be engineer bio. So I got into Houston Community College taking prereqs, but I don't like engineering. They don't even talk. I'm a talker. One of my strengths is my gift of speech. But in engineering, everybody is solving math and working mathematics and physics. We don't talk. This one is not talking to me. Hey God, what am I doing here? So I quickly knew that this is not going to work.
That's not yours.
So in life, right, some people know exactly what they want to do with their life. Some people know that I'm an accountant and I'm going to get a CPA license and I'm going to do it from small to do that. And that's okay. Some people like us, we have several gifts. We have several talents. So we can excel in this or this or this, and that's okay. Because one of the things I see in life is today, don't be confused. You have to do. No. People are different. There is a gift. There is a way we are wired differently. Just to cut the long story short, I left engineering. I'm like, my brother said, healthcare is what we know.
I mean, you said doctors, huh?
Right. Doctor, pharmacy, MP, PA. These are what we know. So I said, let's do nursing. Amazing. I got into nursing. I love it. I didn't know I was going to like it, but there was a little stereotype like, men in nursing. Men in nursing. I got in nursing. I was like, oh my goodness. Taking care of patients, family, this. The day I got out of nursing school, I enrolled in nurse practitioner school. People say, you can't do that. No school will take you. You don't have experience. I started searching for schools that would take me as a brand new nurse practitioner. And one of the things I want people to know is this. Don't take no for an answer in life. Never take no for an answer. 5 schools, 10 schools might refuse you to give you an admission. You might start a business and doors are getting shut at you. No success, no clients, no customers. Don't take no for an answer. The God that gave you the business idea will bring the clients. Your responsibility is not to figure out how things are going to play out. Your responsibility is to take action. Take action and move in line with your purpose. So I found this school. They said, these programs take 2 years to 2.5 years. By the time you finish the program, you will already have the 2-year experience we require. So you have excellent scores from school. We're going to start you. Boom. I enrolled in nurse practitioner school, psychiatric MP, University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. So that was the journey. While I was in nurse practitioner school, I've always known my heart for real estate. I bought a piece of land in Nigeria a while back for $100,000, 100,000 naira. And people started calling me after a few years to buy it for 500,000 naira. I was like, I bought it for 100. Don't you know? He said, we'll pay you 500. I ended up selling about $600-700.
5x, 6x, 7x.
So in my mind, I was thinking, wait a minute. So real estate is like this. You can buy something and it appreciates in value. So I kept that at the back burner. And there's this powerful story, sir. When I first got to the US, I was driving one day on Beechnut Street. I think it's Beechnut on Derry Ashford towards DIC. I saw a golf course on the side.
There's a golf course there. Yeah. Range, yeah.
So yeah. So on a Tuesday morning, some people are playing golf. Don't they have jobs? So I'm a talker, I'm a relationship guy. So I love to engage. So I pulled my car over. I went to have a conversation with the people. And there's this Caucasian man that I talked to who was open to have a conversation. I said, everybody's going to work. Why are you playing golf? Why are you on a Tuesday? He's a young guy, maybe in his stories. He said, I own a bunch of properties. Most of the people going to work, they go to work for me. They have to pay their rent. I don't have to. They pay me, I pay the bank, and I keep the rest in cash flow. Oh, wait a minute.
Real estate again.
So you mean to tell me that you can own a property, somebody else pays the property, and you make profit from that? I wasn't in a position to even buy PIN at that time. I didn't have anything. But I kept that advice in my back pocket. So once I got into nursing, I started making money. I knew that I don't want to live in an apartment. So me and my wife started working on it. That we got to get out of the apartment on Westheimer as fast. Within a year, God did it. We bought the first house. So I got into nurse practitioner school. We were working it out. I said, man, this real estate thing, it's calling my name. Oh, it's calling me. So I read a book. I forgot the title of the book right now. He said, in life, you have to be focused. You cannot do too many things. If you do 2 or 3 things to make an income, you will not make it in life. Wow, that hit me. That hit me hard. Remember, I had a car dealership. Remember, I was working as a nurse, and now I'm about to become a nurse practitioner. And I'm thinking about real estate. 3 or 4 things. The guy said, I won't make it if I do them. He said, you will struggle if you do them. He said, the people that have 2 to 3 jobs, oh, I'm clocking in this year. They finish that one. Oh, I have to pick a night shift. They finish, they have to pick. They don't always make it in life. Because the power of focus, which is one of the things I discussed in this book, the mastery of focus. That when you focus 110% of your energy every single day on one particular thing, the universe doesn't have a choice. The universe has to give you what you deserve.
We yield to it.
Absolutely. The universe must give you. People will see you that, we're going to try, Sha. This guy is trying. I want to do business with him. People call me now to buy houses, 100,000, $1 million. I don't even know where they find me. But they say, Bayo, you are trying. So I knew once I read that book that I cannot own a car dealership and be working as a nurse practitioner and don't want to do real estate. And what they call it scattered brain. Brain will be 30% here, 30% here, 30%. So I started working, got rid of a nurse practitioner, started working. I was doing real estate part-time. People would call me during my break. I would rush out, show property there and there, go back. But there was something in me that was missing. I didn't like the fact that I have to come early morning and clock in. I love being a nurse practitioner. Taking care of patients, medications, their family and everything. I absolutely love it. Because it's a gift of speech for me to talk to families, to do psychotherapies with their family. But what was missing, I wasn't happy. 8 o'clock in the morning or 7:30, I have to leave my house and drive all the way towards downtown to clock in. I won't leave until 5 or 6 p.m. every single day. I knew there was more for my life than that. So I'll leave it at that for now.
So I will assume you summarized everything in this book we have right here. Lessons from my dad. Lessons from my dad.
Yes.
Okay, so there's something you said. There are 6 principles of building a successful life.
Yes.
And that gives this book 6 chapters.
Yes, sir.
132 thereabout pages.
Yes.
This is a book, by the way, you can handle and on a flight from here to, say, New York, and you'll finish this book, within that short journey or trip, right? So, give us a synopsis of this. I'll pull everything together because of our time. All these chapters together, right? You have the success begins with godly fear, right? And you said the power of integrity. That's powerful. the principle of self-discipline and hard work. And I think you said something about that earlier. Educational investments yield the best dividends. Wow. Educational investment. This chapter is from just reading out the title of the chapter of each chapter. It's they sounded like keywords to what one needs to apply to one's life, right?
Yes, sir.
Leverage focus for mastery and growth. Then your greatest legacy is to empower others. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know. We can't give this out. We will need people to buy this to understand, so they can resonate with your journey and the lesson you're about to teach us in this book.
Amen.
You know, so I would strongly suggest for you guys to please grab a copy. It's called The Lessons from My Dad by Adebayo Adebowale. You know, that's the author. It has 6 principles for building a successful life. So, just within the next minute or two, give us a synopsis of what to expect.
Yeah,
within the chapters of this book,
absolutely.
without having to give too much away, because we need people to grab a copy, right?
And it's on Amazon. They can grab it on Amazon.
So there's an e-copy they can
buy. They can buy electronic.
Yeah,
they can buy the physical copy. They can buy hardcover. Everything on Amazon. Thank you very much, sir. Powerful. So with my journey, I started reflecting. Okay, what got me here? Number one, the fear of God. I know in the world we live in today, a lot of people don't talk enough about God. So that's not going to be me. I am going to talk about God morning, afternoon, night, when I'm sleeping, when I'm waking up. Why? Because there's something that comes once somebody have the fear of God. Even the people that don't have the fear of God, they want to do business with somebody that has the fear of God.
Tell me, even the ones that do not, they don't trust their kind.
They don't. A guy called me. He said he wanted to invest in real estate, and he brought money to me. He said, "Buy or take, go." I said, "Why? I've been watching you for 2 years. I see the way you move. Go and invest. Whatever returns, we will share it. We don't need to discuss that now."
Oh wow!
I said, "Wow." He said things that were powerful, but just not to cut our time short. So, my father built our life on a berolong. Have the fear of God in everything you do, whether other people sees you or other people don't see you. That's not the time to cut corners, because God sees you. Once you started doing things in the dark, it's gonna come out in the open eventually.
For sure.
So, but once you have the fear of God, even when people don't see you,
even when you are tempted to do that, the fear of God will prompt you to say no.
Absolutely, so because of that fear. So he instilled that principle that fear God in all you do. Even if my father is not here now, but every time that I want to do something, I'm evaluating how does this align with God principles in my life. That was number one. And number two was living with integrity, and I call it the power of integrity. Because integrity is very, very powerful.
Very, very.
The people that don't have integrity, they like to associate with the people that have integrity.
Integrity, that's right.
So I started to think, what does integrity really mean? And how do you cultivate it? Number one is to identify who you are. Am I a person of integrity or not?
Because you will know.
You will know. You will know. I don't think I'm a good person. I don't think. Then, if you can't tell yourself the truth, whether you are a person of integrity or not, you have defeated yourself. Tell yourself the truth in a mirror. So what now happened was my father did businesses, and I wish we had more time to go deep. But once people read it, so somebody was supplying goods to my dad and a host of other people when he was young, he was coming up. This is how he became wealthy. And the goods that they supplied to people, everybody sold. My father also sold. But what the other people did was to use that money to buy other goods and quickly trade that money. But my father took his own money and gave it to the supplier. The goods you gave us are finished selling. Here is the money. The man was like, why are you the only one that came back to me? What about the rest of... He said, I don't know. The man went into the market, did a research. And this is life, true story. And found out everybody had sold. And they had use the
Quickly use the money to
quickly
turn
turn
it
around the money. The man said, from now on, when I bring the remaining goods from abroad, I'm going to supply all of them to you, my dad, and you distribute to the rest of the people. So everybody will come to you to get the goods. That changed the trajectory of my family life because my father became wealthy. Now the importers are bringing goods and they were giving it only to my dad.
So he becomes the sole
So
distributor.
he became the sole distributor, and the whole like people were traveling from Lagos to Ibadan. My father was in Ibadan. We're based in Ibadan. People were traveling from Lagos to Ibadan, from Port Harcourt to Ibadan, from Kano to Ibadan.
Of course.
Because my dad is the sole distributor. And this importer went back and told everybody, all of his friends, when you go to Nigeria, there is one man that you have to associate with, Alhaji Jimoh Adebowale. And that's how his business blew up. So people say, maybe it's blood money. It's too soon.
People will talk anyway.
So when you have integrity, the way success and wealth will come to you will be like you did something else, because people will not understand it.
Exactly. I would not let you say everything about this book, because if we keep at it, people will now want to buy. I mean, I don't want that.
I know.
You didn't solicit to come to this. Seeing the book, having read the book, and having an understanding of what the book entails, I thought people need to hear what you have to say in this book. This is a very powerful book, guys.
Yes, sir.
Again, he has touched on 2 of the 6 chapters that we have here. The success begins with godly fear, which is something his father instilled in him, which one of the blessings from his dad. And the second is the power of integrity, and he just told you the story about how his dad's integrity earned him the success that they lived off of, and he's still enjoying till today. And then the 4 other chapters are the principle of self-discipline and hard work. That's coming up, and that's for you to read in this book. Then the next is educational investment yields the best dividends. Then leverage focus for mastery and growth. Then the last one is your greatest legacy is to empower others. That's something we fail to do amongst ourselves as Africans or as humans. We feel like if we know it, we can make everybody run up to us, become our slave, become our subordinates, so we can be the go-to person. But don't forget that, like he said about his dad, the integrity earned him that, and he wasn't the one that lobbied for it. And then by empowering others, you can actually empower yourself. There's a saying that says we rise by lifting others.
Absolutely.
So guys, I would love for you to please get a copy of this, be it the e-copy or the hard copy or whatever you're comfortable with. He said it's on Amazon. Again, the title is Lessons from My Dad. And the author, of course, is our gentleman here, Mr. Adebayo Adebowale. And that's spelled Adebayo, Adebowale. As you can see, here's a copy. I have my autographed copy. And I hope to see you guys soon with a copy for sure. And if you don't mind, please, if there's any keywords that you want to, like words on marble, that you want to share with our guests for living today, that are aspiring entrepreneurs or author or whatever, or that are struggling in life, trying to find their roots, please share with our audience.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. I appreciate you, sir. It's the 5th chapter of my book. That's what I'm going to leave you with. And that is to leverage focus for mastery and growth. One of the things I see in our community is that people want to do too many things. It's very difficult for your brain to achieve success or to be focused on one thing if you are constantly thinking about multiple things. So when I found a mentor who was very successful, a multi-millionaire, he gave me a book. He said, go read this. It's called The One Thing by Gary Keller. He's the founder of Keller Williams. The One Thing. What is that one thing in your life that can have the domino effect on the rest of your life? Once you find that, you focus 110% on that. For me, the life that real estate has created for me was because of my level of focus to bring mastery and growth. I love being a nurse practitioner. It's a lifelong dream of mine. I appreciate all my patients and I love it. And I'm still probably build a clinic. or a hospital. I'm thinking about it. I want to give back in that manner. But once I leverage focus in real estate and I quit, I shut down my car dealership. I shut down nurse practitioner. Then I went 110%. So whatever thing you're doing right now in your business, in your career, find one thing. I'm not saying you are not going to do every other thing, but we need to create this success path first. So that once you're successful in that one thing and you go all in, don't go 10%, 20, 50, no, 110. Go deep. Don't go wide. Go as deep as possible. And once you achieve success in that, then you can start every area of your life. This is one thing I'm going to leave you with. And I wish you and everyone success. I wish you joy, blessings. I pray the greatest dreams that you have in your heart, that God will bring them to pass.
Amen.
And I pray that as you are working hard to take care of your family, to support yourself, to support everyone around you, I pray that the Lord God Almighty will support you, will support your business endeavors, support your career. And I pray at the end of the day, you will leave a legacy. You will live a fulfilled, blessed, happy, and amazing life.
Amen.
This is my prayer for you.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate you. And hopefully we'll be seeing you more of you soon, because this is and you and I need to talk anyway. We said that earlier. But yeah, thank you so much, fam. Thank you guys also. I hope you've learned a thing or two. A thing or two from Mr. Adebayo's story. And also please do grab you a copy. We'll definitely be right back, but before then, I would love for you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Afrocentric Television on YouTube, and of course on Instagram and Facebook, Afrocentric TV. So my name is Kolawole Akimura, and I remain your host. Be well and be good. See you soon. Stay out of trouble. Thank you. Welcome back to my community on Afrocentric Television channel 15.8. And my name is Kolawole Akinmuyiwa, your host, of course, here on Afrocentric TV on my community. This is that station that revolves around the Africans in diaspora, especially us here in the Houston metro area. Today, we have talked about, how life can work for you, with the gift you have within you, or maybe something that can birth something out of you. That's from the book written by Mr. Adebayo Adebowale. But on this second segment, I have with us a very naturally beautiful, talented woman. Oh my goodness. You get to see her shortly. And I'll introduce her as Imole. And I had to speak that with my very local Nigerian dialect. Imole, why are you laughing? Imole, you can't even let me get my introduction right, because I love that name so much. Because we're talking about her like Imole, that means light. And she's here unnaturally in our studio to talk about her movies that are coming up. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Why are you laughing at me? Guys, did I lie? She's so naturally beautiful, right? Now, Imale, welcome to the show, first of all. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I learned your background is actually in engineering.
Yes.
Huh. How did you transition from being an engineer to becoming a filmmaker, a producer, that industry? Transition is really, how are you able to?
Well, so from time, I've always been in the creative side of everything. Even when I was in Nigeria, I was studying mathematics, right? So I was more on the science side. I always think that I have a more analytical brain than any good brains out there. I think like, well, I wouldn't say I don't think like a woman, but because there's so many women that do engineering and all those analytical roles too. But I'm more on the science side of things, right? But over time, in being involved in church, in activities in community, I've learned to almost like a natural knack for me. I just have a natural knack towards creative stuff, like designing a poster or creating a video, a vlog, or design. Like almost like all those creative knack. So The opportunity really came when I was in church and we were trying to create a department for announcements, like video announcements in church, like media.
Towards the end of the service.
Yeah, like all those media, and there was nobody that would do it, so there was no one doing that. So, but usually we would leave church and we would have paper pamphlets and you start picking them up over on the floor. So I decided to buy a camera. I don't even know how to edit at the time. I didn't know anything about videos. So I decided to buy a camera, set up a studio, and then decide to start shooting a video announcement for church. Right, all by myself. I started to do that to train myself for discipline and consistency. And then over time I got better at it. Then I remember one minister was coming over to our church one time and said, "Oh, we want to do a drama or a skit to remind people of a program." And I was like, "Why can't we do that?" And then me and my husband, we tried to recreate drama. Even though I'm not really good, I do filmmaking now, but I'm not really good at acting.
At the time.
Acting. So I decided to give it a shot, and we did it, and we started putting it online, and people started commenting, and you started seeing different churches asking me to come over and shoot and play a film for them. And then different churches started asking me, am I creating something because they want to play something for their talent show night? So it started becoming a thing. So we started having talent show events in church, and I started creating more, and and coupled with the fact that I'm in the drama department, it was just God's timing, honestly, at this point.
So this just fell on your lap.
It just fell on my lap, and then I ran with it, and I loved it. It's not even like I loved it.
You're speaking passionately about it now, so yes. Obviously you do love it.
I love it so much.
You are the creative director of Lumia Films.
Yeah.
And you have these short films that we're going to be talking about today. Mm-hmm. There are 3 of them.
3 of them, yeah.
Interesting. So, are these real life scenarios or just something you created?
That's a very good question. So Lumia Films really was created from telling realistic stories. So I wanted to tell stories that people can relate with, right? Like not just a story from from just being creative and all of that, which I do. But this particular short films were selected because of their realistic stories. So I tried to create that kind of stories, like, if you're going through infertility, you will relate with one of my stories. If you're going through someone dying and not believing in God, you will relate with my stories. I want you to watch my films and think about it. It's a reflection story. It's that kind of story that
after you've watched it, you still reflect on it, like, in this movie, this is how this person dealt with this, and I can maybe deal with that. From that.
Exactly. It's more like a moral story where it teaches you how to be in life.
I like that. The way you said that, I like that. It's more like a moral story, unlike what we see these days. And but the storyline is just gonna throw you here and there, and then you feel like it's just a movie anyway.
Exactly.
But this is something you can relate with.
Yeah, it's the kind of story that you finish watching it and then you pray, because you'll be like, okay. I watched this, and this is the
finish watching it, and then
you turn up and then you pray.
Watching it.
Yes, because it challenges you to do that. So so these stories were chosen. I mean, I'm going to talk a little bit about the 3 of them.
Yes.
Wahala Be Thy Bicycle is a funny story.
We have to. So before you talk about that, because people need to understand your journey as well. We already talked about your transitioning from not transition, but you're still an engineer, right?
Yes,
so but you from being an engineer to being a filmmaker, producer, director, and also sometimes writer, right?
Yes.
So now, and I also understood that you moved from Canada, where you spent the most of your life so far, to the United States. What has that been like for you?
United States is a culture shock in a way.
I mean, moved from Canada.
United States is a different breed. Like, I think people here are really ambitious, and it's good.
Huh.
It's so good. Canada gave me that ability to bond with people in a way. Maybe because I had more time. I didn't have kids then, so I had more time.
We've known for how long now? We've been talking and laughing. You're bonding. This is America.
I know, but Canada gave me that opportunity to bond. Like, people there are like family, right?
So there's no bond here now.
There is bond.
Okay.
There is bond in America. I'm creating that bond for myself, right? I'm finding people and selecting people and finding friends. But because I grew up in Canada, I went to school in Canada. My upbringing, my friends are already made, right?
Gotcha.
So here and now, it's like you making friends after having kids. We all know that having kids alone,
it changes everything.
you don't even have time for anything, right? So it's kind of different now. So, but yeah, we're making friends as we go. So we're finding the bonds and families as we go. But it's a different environment entirely, because everything here is go go go. It's like I need to take a breath. I need to take a breath. But Canada still gives you that opportunity, that flexibility to reflect, to think. Almost like slow pace, don't rush through life kind of thing. But here it's a rush through life. Rush through it. So I'm enjoying the good and the sad. But America gives you the opportunities, right? So that's one of the things that I think Canada needs to still improve on. It's like opportunity, even for people like me doing films. I've gone to New York film festivals where they've screened some of my films. I've won a lot of awards here in America. Doing the films that I do, and even some of the films that will be showing on October 7th, we've won tons of awards on all of them. Like,
imagine that.
So American has given me that. So I'm really grateful.
See, guys, I'm telling you, there's something about America. That gives the best part of you. Yes. So it's just not the go. They stay a bond. I mean, she's been smiling now. She's come to the studio. Come on now. That's a bond right there. So now let's talk about the short films. You have 3 of them.
Yes.
Short films.
Short.
Maybe 20 minutes thereabouts, right? Yeah. One is Hello Yesterday. I like that title already. Hello Yesterday. Like, I'm just thinking of give a synopsis on them, but I just love the title being Hello Yesterday. Like, you're behind me already, I'm not even watching the movie or seen it, but I can already relate, And then the other one is Wahala Be Like Bicycle. That's a disaster date.
Disaster date. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then the third one is GPS. So tell us about the first one. Hello Yesterday. That's the first that I want to hear.
Yeah, Hello Yesterday is a film about keeping in touch with people, so that it's not too late. Right? Because even in our busy life, we're just talking about America is about go.
Right.
Sometimes you lose touch.
You forget yourself.
You forget the people that really cares about you, and you forget the people that you care about. Because you forget the reason why you're even doing what you're doing. Because sometimes we are like, oh, we're trying to make money, but you forget that the kids that you're making the money for, you're losing them. Or even the parents that birth you and you're trying to help, you're losing them because we're so busy. So, and none of us know how much time we have here. So the best you can do is make good use of the small time that we have.
And this is all created.
This is all in this short film. Yes.
I'm looking forward to it already.
Yes.
And then we have Disaster Date.
Disaster Date.
Wahala Be Like Bicycle. I like that. Wahala Be Like. Nigerians can definitely, the Africans generally can Wahala, be like bicycle. There's a caption that they use on Instagram now. So tell us, give us a synopsis of that one.
So Wahala Be Like Bicycle. It was originally titled Disaster Date before. But after I went through the process of thinking about the story and thinking of how I'm going to even edit the story in my head, I was like, there's no way this is just Disaster Day, because it would just be like any other film. I'm like, it has to be a Wahala Be Like Bicycle, because this girl and this guy were dating over pandemic, and now they are finally meeting themselves, and some disastrous things happen. So it's pretty much, I'm not going to give it away, but it's pretty much,
because so we want to pay to see it.
Yes. Yeah, so it's like disastrous things happened, you know, on the day that they finally met themselves. So it's like, what could that be, you know, and what will be the end of that? So I'll leave that. I'll leave that for people to come and watch. GPS is a story after my own heart.
Okay.
Honestly, like GPS is a story. I feel like GPS should be a movie.
Mr. Ladipo, pay attention to this part. This part.
Yeah, you know, GPS is a story that I wrote 5 times. I wrote it the first time, I scrapped it because I was like, no, this is not it. And then I prayed over it, and then I wrote it again, and I'm like, no. So it took me 5 times to come to the draft of the GPS. And the reason being that I wanted it to be a short film, but the story is so big that it can't be concised. You know, it's easy to make a feature film because you can throw everything in there. Making a short film takes a different skill because you have to concise all the things that you need to say,
and then the people still have to understand the storyline.
You still have to understand, and you still have to go through the 3 stages of film, of screenwriting, right? Because you have to go through the intro, then you have to go to the climax, then you have to go through the conclusion. So you need to concise it in short amount of time. Yeah. So it took me a long time to put it together. Being that it's a true life story, it's a true life event, and also it's very relatable to women, to men, to people that have small children, to people that are expecting to have kids. And you know, we come from a culture where if you don't have a child, everybody look at the woman that, why are you not giving my son a child? And then I've been through that. You know, we've been married for almost 10 years, and we didn't have kids for the first 4 years of our relationship, right? We didn't have kids. I mean, our kids are celebrating their 5th birthday now, and I'm looking at them, I'm like,
yes, our kids on 5th birthday.
We had twins.
Yeah, I was like,
we had twins.
From that.
We had twins, and it's crazy.
Crazy?
Yes.
You feel like it's been a long time after 4 years, and when God's going to do it, just boom.
God does it
just
His way.
For you.
You know. Sometimes when God takes His time, it's because He wanted to do something more for you. But sometimes we don't see the big picture, right? And then we complain of now. But God is working on tomorrow. You know. So GPS is really a journey about this couple that is going through infertility. But also they are going to a friend's event, and then with that friend's event being subjected by something, you know, so it's a GPS because you're going through the journey, and at the same time you're also navigating through life. So it's going to be it's an amazing.
It's already sounding like it's going to be an amazing movie.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to. I would definitely check my calendar, but these are things I love, and I'm thinking, babe, get ready. We have a date night on October 7th.
Yes.
It's a Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's when we're going to have the movie premiere, right? Yes. Tell us about the premiere and where we can get the tickets.
So the premiere will be in Houston. We have it at the Queensbury Theater down in Memorial City Center.
Oh, okay. The one 12777 Queensbury Lane, Houston, Texas 77024.
Yes. Yeah, 12777, right? Yeah. So that's where it is, and it will be from 5:30. The door opens at 5:30. It's expected for everyone to come dressed as if you're going to the Oscars, because we want it to be very
glam and classy.
We want it to be glam and classy. We want it to be all of that, you know. So the red carpets will start at 5:30. We want people to come dressed as if, you know, because you deserve it. You deserve to celebrate yourself and dress good. You know,
it's a good movie night for couples
for singles,
or you know. So maybe before you even get into those harsh realities of life, you can actually resonate with some of these storylines, and you can live it up, and you have expectations, but then they can be managed.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So Queensbury Theater in the Memorial City Center. It's the venue is 12777 Queensbury Lane, Houston, Texas 77024. Red carpet starts at 5:30. Well, door opens at 5:30. Red carpet starts at 6, between 6 and 6:55, and then the actual movie screening starts at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Don't worry, this thing is still coming to.
Yeah, we're still going to Amazon Prime. We're still going to post it,
but we still need you all to come out so you can get the first feel of the storylines, right?
Yeah, and you get to ask questions later and all of that with me and all of that. So,
awesome, and then we get to take pictures with you.
Of course, yes.
Some of the acts, that's beautiful. Yeah. And then tickets are on Eventbrite, right? So on Eventbrite, just search for what should we search for on Eventbrite?
You can search for Lumiere Film Premiere.
Oh, the Lumiere, by the way, is French. don't go there searching for Lumia like Junior Lumiere. No. Spell that out for us, ma'am. Imole, please spell that out, because this is where I grew from. I'm telling y'all what I did, so you don't have to laugh at me eventually, and I don't want nobody to laugh at you. That's why I have to what she needs to tell us. Spell it out for us. It's like, you know how you spell premiere?
Yes.
That's how you spell the Lumiere. Lumire.
Yes.
Don't forget that. Yes. I'm just looking for Lumia. It's Lumire Films. Yes. So Lumia Films, and it's gonna bring up the tickets on Eventbrite. And also you'll see the link down here. And then you can also definitely scan the QR code that we're gonna be showcasing for you.
Yes. And obviously the tickets are on my Instagram as well if they wanna.
What is your Instagram handle?
So it's just the Lumiere Films.
TheLumierefilms. The Lumiere Films. I went to school. Now you say you're a mathematician. I went to UFM. I studied mathematics.
Oh, you studied math?
Oh yeah. So we'll talk about that, right? Just because when she was saying that, I was like, no wonder she's thinking like I should have an expectation too. Yeah. But thank you so much. Any final words to your guests as to what to expect that day? And
it's going to be a movie premiere that you have never experienced before. So I want you to come ready and come prepared. Come to have fun. There's gonna be food. We're gonna have cocktails.
Yeah, I'm for that.
It's gonna be cocktails. There's gonna be question and answer. So you're gonna meet people. So come with your business cards. It's not one of those that's don't come with business cards. When you're coming to when you're doing networking or cocktail, come with business cards, because you just never know who you meet, right? And you never know where you do business. So why not? And take advantage of the red carpet, dress well, just glamorous. Let's take pictures and let's have fun. So it's going to be a good evening.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Imole, for gracing our studio, and especially for these beautiful talents that you have and that you're sharing with us. The story about life and I love the fact that it's not all hardcore. Yes, some part is going to be emotional, and of course, like the Wahala Be Like Bicycle, it's a funny. From my understanding, it's going to be a funny one, right? Then the Hello Yesterday, something you can resonate with, and so all of this is going to be fully packaged into one. So between 7 and 9 p.m. Please, no African time.
No,
it's a spot. It's a theater, so we have to start on time. So plan to get there at 5:30. Red carpet starts at 6 o'clock to 6:55. Then 5 minutes for us to get settled in the theater. The movie premieres. We start the screening at 7 p.m. and it definitely is going to end at 9 p.m. So make it a date night with your spouse. It's on Saturday, October the 7th, 2023, and at the Queensbury Theater at this Memorial City Center, 12777 Queensbury Lane, Houston, Texas 77024. And get your tickets on Eventbrite. Search for the Lumiere Films. Until then, stay out of trouble, and we will see you then. All right. Be well, and please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and that's Afrocentric Television, and also our Instagram handle, and of course Facebook is Afrocentric TV. Stay out of trouble. This is Texas, and then please follow also our guest today, Mrs. Imole Ladipo, Our Instagram handle is the Lumiere Films, and that is TheLumiere Films, FILMS. Until then, take care and God bless.